Imagine the frustration of watching your grocery budget shrink while essential items vanish from store shelves. That's the tough reality hitting countless American families, thanks to President Trump's tariffs. These trade policies, essentially taxes on imported goods designed to protect domestic industries, are meant to boost the economy, but for everyday people, they're sparking higher costs and tougher choices. Stick around as we dive into real stories from across the country that reveal just how deep this impact runs. Take Paige Harris, a 38-year-old teacher's assistant and mom of two from Stella, North Carolina. She's felt the pinch in her family's routine shopping habits. The everyday products I've always relied on are climbing in price, bit by bit, she shares. From something as simple as hair coloring products to vital baby formula, her shopping list has had to get shorter, even as she's stretched her finances further. Luxuries like a good cut of steak? They're completely off the table now for her household. For beginners navigating economics, tariffs work like this. When the government slaps extra fees on imports, companies often pass those costs directly to shoppers, leading to these widespread price hikes. Paige is just one voice among nearly 40 individuals who opened up to The Guardian about adapting to these changes over the past 6 months, ever since Trump unveiled his broad tariff plans. https://theguardian.com/US News/Donald Trump. And the numbers back up her experience. A fresh report from SP Global on Thursday shows businesses bracing for at least $1.2 trillion in extra costs come 2025. Way more than anyone expected before. The kicker? Experts say U.S. consumers will shoulder most of that load, with over $900 billion. That's 2/3 of the total hit, landing squarely on American wallets. To put it in perspective, last month's analysis from the Yale Budget Lab pegged the annual extra expense for the average household at nearly $2,400. https://budgetlab.yale/research/state US tariffs, September 26, 2025. That's money that could go towards savings, vacations, or just breathing a little easier each month. But here's where it gets controversial. The Trump team pledged these tariffs would slash prices and make life more affordable for all. Paige begs to differ, pointing out how everyday costs are skyrocketing instead. It's obvious now that this administration isn't prioritizing the real struggles of ordinary folks, she says. Our words echo a growing frustration. Do these policies truly help the little guy? Or are they backfiring in ways no one anticipated? Across the U.S., folks are reshaping their weekly spending to cope. Jean Meadows, a 74-year-old retiree in Huntsville, Alabama, explains it plainly. Everything's gotten so expensive that I stick to bulk buys at Costco and avoid other spots as much as I can. She wonders aloud if retailers are blind to the shift in shopper behavior. I bet they're seeing it, but people are genuinely scared about what's ahead. That fear isn't unfounded. A poll done just for The Guardian highlights tariffs as the second largest economic worry right now, right after inflation. https://www.theguardian.com/business/Octo16 Inflation Economic Pessimism Poll. And this is the part most people miss. While tariffs aim to shield local jobs, they're rippling out to squeeze retirees and families on tight budgets the hardest. Myron Peeler, another retiree serving as the full-time caregiver for his wife battling severe arthritis, feels it acutely too. The bread we depend on has doubled in cost over the past year, and our fixed income just can't keep pace with rising prices, he notes. Thankfully, with their home and vehicle fully paid off, they have a bit of financial breathing room, but for many others without that safety net, it's a different story. Trump isn't showing any inclination to dial back his tariff strategy, which the White House argues will spark a revival in U.S. manufacturing and bring in more cash from trading nations. Lately, he's escalated things by warning of a whopping 100% tariff on Chinese goods starting as early as November, reigniting tensions in their ongoing trade spat. This follows China's curbs on exporting rare earth minerals, crucial components in everything from EV batteries to medical devices in hospitals. Trump called it extremely aggressive, and in a Fox News sit-down, he conceded the steep tariffs might not hold up forever, but insisted China left him no option. They pushed me into this corner. Right now, the typical U.S. tariff on imports from China sits at about 58%, per the Peterson Institute for Economics, a rate already biting hard at people like Michelle in northeastern Pennsylvania. We desperately need new tires for our car, but the budget ones are gone, and $250 each is out of reach, she laments. Her story underscores a broader issue, not just pricier goods, but scarcity too. Many shared similar tales of barren aisles and inflated tags. Natalie, a 55-year-old semi-retired resident of New Hampshire who's gearing up for part-time grocery store work, hasn't spotted some basic pantry items in ages. Shelves are thinning out. Gone are the days of plenty of options. Now it's slim pickings, 1 or 2 varieties at most, with premium brands swapped for generics. She's noticed jumps in her regular buys, like cat food soaring 25% or even doubling. A favorite canned wet food for my cats jumped from $1.79 to $2.49 a can, she adds. For pet owners or anyone with specific needs, these shifts can feel personal and disruptive. This emerging reality isn't limited to food bills. It's reshaping how people live. Minnie, a 55-year-old food enthusiast and writer in Portland, Oregon, has ditched impulse buys entirely. Forget seasonal splurges like a cozy new sweater or jeans. And this holiday, we'll craft all our gifts by hand, she says. Dining out once a weekly treat is history. Even quick service spots are ridiculously overpriced now. It all costs double what it did, and we're on edge about future money woes. Her experience highlights how tariffs, combined with other pressures, are forcing lifestyle overhauls. Think fewer outings, more home cooking, and creative gifting. Sure, the national inflation rate is holding steady at around 2.9%, a welcome cooldown from the wild swings during the pandemic years. https://theguardian.com/business/11 U.S. inflation August Trump tariffs. But tariffs aren't lightening the load on household finances. Richard Ulmer, an 81-year-old Floridian who's called the state home for 35 years, calls this the toughest year financially yet. From my weekly groceries to the power bill, absolutely everything has climbed, he shares. Younger folks aren't immune either. Cassie, a 25-year-old consultant in Siler City, North Carolina, contrasts the rapid spikes now with the slower creeps during the pandemic's early days. She caps her grocery spending at $65 weekly. But since the tariff rollout, her go-to Walmart runs have become impossible. I now hop between at least 4 stores, sometimes trekking to nearby towns for deals, which means more driving and time, she explains. A stark example hit over the summer after tariff news targeting Mexico and Latin America. Local Walmart and other chains were bananaless for about 2 weeks. No fresh produce like that in sight. It really drove home how global trade ties affect our plates. As Americans adjust to this new normal, one can't help but question the trade-offs. On one hand, proponents argue tariffs could supercharge American jobs in the long run by encouraging local production. But is the immediate hardship, from skipped meals to empty shelves, a fair price? What do you think? Are these policies protecting our future economy or punishing today's families? Drop your takes in the comments. I'd love to hear if you felt the squeeze and whether you agree it's time for a policy rethink.